Hey everybody, it's Karen and Stephanie with Food and Family. Are you getting ready for St. Patrick's Day? We are, and we have got some delicious stuff for you today. We are going to make an Irish stew.
Yep, Irish, it's a Guinness beef stew.
Beef stew. And Stephanie is cutting up about 2.5 pounds chuck roast. We've got 6 ounces of bacon cut up in cubes that we're browning here. So we're about ready to take it out, and she's going to throw that beef in and we're going to get it browned up. This is going to come together really quick. The longest it's going to take you is cutting up the vegetables.
And then it's cook time.
Yeah, and then it's cook time, and then you can put it on the stove. We're going to start it here, move it to the stove. But you can put it on the stove, let it simmer. What do you say, 2 or 3 hours, because you want that meat to be
Really tender.
And chuck roast, and many of you may know this, chuck roast is tough if it's not cooked correctly. The key to cooking a tender chuck roast is slow and long. So you cook it for a long time. I cook a roast 3 hours, may go 4. And it will be falling apart tender. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out, Stephanie, because they're getting browned.
All right, and so while she's doing that, we're cutting up the chuck roast in about 1 inch, what'd you say, 1 inch pieces?
1.5 inches, yeah. She has her chuck roast cut up, and she's going to salt and pepper it and toss it in her flour. And she's only got 3 tablespoons of flour. That's all that's needed. You don't want a heavy coating. This is just enough flour that it's going to help thicken the stew. And if anybody's worried about the Guinness, the alcohol cooks away. It just leaves a flavor. It's a stout, and it's just going to leave a dark, rich flavor. So you don't have to worry about the alcohol. Oh, that looks so good. See, and these 3 tablespoons of flour coated
Perfectly coats
her chunks of meat here. Perfect. And she can hold it up and let you see how beautifully it's coated. It's just a light dusting. And see how beautiful that is? I'm going to go ahead and add some salt and pepper on there for you.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead. We're just going to eyeball it. And we may add some more salt as we go. Keep in mind, we're going to be using broth, and it is salted. So I could not find the unsalted beef broth today. And the Guinness is going to give it a flavor. And if we see we need some more salt, we can add it, and you can always add it at the table on your plate.
All right, we're going to start adding our meat to start the browning process. You don't want to add it all at one time because you want them all to get evenly browned and have a good coating. So you'll want to do this part in stages.
Yeah, if you crowd your pan, you're going to have gray meat.
And you'll lower your temperature of your oil.
Yeah, and there's nothing less appealing than gray meat.
Gray meat.
We were at a restaurant one time. I was having some issues with allergies. And we were at a restaurant where they were cooking shellfish along with everything else. And it's not so much the shellfish as it is the seasonings they use that bother me. And we asked them, could they do it separately? And they said, yeah, no problem. This was a steakhouse. They came out and served me a steak that was gray, cooked on a piece of aluminum foil. That was the worst steak dinner I've ever had.
Yeah, there's 2 medium onions. We use 3 ribs of celery and 3 carrots.
And if you wanted to use more, you can.
And we cut the celery and the carrots in about, what is that, about ½ inch?
Yeah, I would say close to ½ inch. But if you want more, you can add more. That's going to be up to you. This is going to be so good.
It already smells good.
So let us get this beef browned, and we're going to take it out and get our onions in the pot and get them cooked up a little bit with the celery and carrots, and we're just going to start adding everything else. So, all right, we're back here. Now we changed your angle so you could see down into the pot and see what we're fixing to do. This meat's about ready to come up. You see how she's got it browned? And it is so, if y'all could just smell it, it is smelling so good. Now we're going to add these onions into the pot, and oh my goodness, look at here. Isn't that beautiful? So it's not done, but it will finish cooking because we're going to simmer it, what, 2-3 hours? All right.
So I'm just adding a couple of tablespoons of oil to the pan. And we got 2 medium-sized onions.
Looks like a lot, but keep in mind it will cook down.
And to that, we're going to add, if you've got these wet minced garlic, you're going to add 3 teaspoons or 3 garlic cloves.
And don't drain all the juice off when you pull it out of here. That's some good flavor.
The juice is the best part.
That is some good flavor when you add it in there. Nothing. We'll go ahead and add our tomato paste and our carrots and our celery. What do you think? So I'm gonna rake the onions back to the side, and I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons. I just eyeballed it, and that's going to be as close to 4 tablespoons as you can get. Now that's going to toast that up a little bit, being in there, and it's going to bring out all those flavors. And that tomato paste, it's going to waken it up because it's been sitting dormant. And then it's going to just wake up and say, hey, I'm here, I'm happy.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, absolutely. And that's what we want. Well, let's just spread it all out across there.
All right, we're going to add the 3 ribs of celery that we did a ½ inch cut.
And again, if you want more than that, by all means.
3 carrots, ½ inch cut.
You can add more. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that just a beautiful pot already? Those colors down in there. And we're going to let that sit there.
We're going to add...
Oh, yes, we've got to add some thyme.
All right, so you can do 3 sprigs of fresh thyme. We're going to add ½ a teaspoon of the dry.
Dry seasonings, your dry herbs are a lot stronger than your fresh. If you have fresh, get it. I was at the store and they didn't have any fresh, so that's why I got the dried. Doesn't matter. Quiet it down for just a minute, so we're going to let it start.
Get that temperature back up.
Yeah, get the temp back up and let that cook a minute. And
all right, it's dump time.
let's dump.
All right, bacon. 6 ounces of bacon that we already cooked up.
Mmm. We're gonna put the meat back in. Looky there. And don't leave those juices in the dish. Rake them out. There's a lot of flavor there.
And would you say 2 bay leaves?
I think 2 or 3. They're not real big, so if you want to go with 3. Yeah, because this one's kind of small, so we'll use an extra one.
All right, there's 2 cups of broth there.
See how she's pouring her broth from the top there? If you do it that way, then it won't splatter all over you.
Your good friend Leslie taught us that this week.
Yeah, well, I already knew it, but
I didn't.
You didn't. Yeah, all right.
And now it's time for the Guinness.
Guinness. 14.9 ounces of Guinness. How did we come up with 14.9? Let's just say 15 ounces of Guinness. See how rich that's making it? It deepened the color. Can you see
One of these was what?
11.
Okay.
11.5. So I would say about a quarter.
Oh, it smells so good.
It is. Yeah, and it's that simple. This is ready to just...
Sit and cook.
We're going to put a lid on it. We might cock the lid just a little bit, but you want to simmer. You don't want a hard rolling boil. Let's get it down on a simmer, and we're going to let it cook, I would say 2 or 3 hours. So, but when it gets done, we're going to come back, and we're going to try it for you, okay? Stay with us. We just took this Irish stew off of the stove, and if you could smell this kitchen, it is amazing. And that meat, the roast is so tender. You don't have to have a knife, just your spoon, and that's it. But while we were doing that, and you'll see this in another video, we made some Colcannon. So it's potatoes, we've got kale, green onions, butter, and cream. And
nothing better.
no. So what we're going to do is, we plated us up some, we poured our stew over our potatoes. Looky there. I'm ready to try this, Stephanie.
That's so good.
So we don't have potatoes in the stew like you would a beef stew we were making here. This is just carrots, celery, onions, beef, the stock, tomato paste. Oh my word.
And you can eat this by itself, but let me tell you, with this, it is so much better.
Yeah, why would you want to? You've got your kale and the potatoes. You've got everything you need right here. This is a full course meal plus some. All right. We appreciate every one of you. And we certainly hope you will try our recipes. Look for this stew. When you watch the stew video, look for the Colcannon video. And you'll enjoy making it, and I think you'll really love it. And then pair them together, and you'll be so happy you did. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. Share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we put out our next video.